positionally.
Well, he might want to play this black, but I mean, the reward should be there if it goes in. I think playing Selby, you have to take these sort of shots on and just get them. Because if you stay on the safety shots, then you're going to get very little out of Selby. Tough one, this. Deserves to be on a red because he was unlucky in the previous frame when he went into the bunch. That's much better. That's very good.
8.
Mark Allen's best shot of the evening for sure, because had he missed it, look what he was leaving. And he's never lacked for bottle, that's for sure. Showed that at the end against
9.
Higgins, that superb 80+ break launched by a very tough red into the right centre, which also carried a lot of jeopardy had he missed it. Is that going to be the catalyst for him to really get going this evening?
$16. 17. 24. 25.
Well, on reds and blacks earlier on in this break, he really may have in the back of his mind be thinking that he could like to keep potting reds and blacks, but what he really wants to do is win a frame after 2 disappointments in frames 1 and 2. But the red to the middle is a pretty obvious way of staying on the black.
32.
Natural angle, easiest colour to play on, really. And the other red as well to the corner. Choice.
Mark Allen was among the first to congratulate his friend and rival Sean Murphy on his extraordinary maximum at the shootout.
That's not bad. He's, again, on the red he was going to play, he's still on to stay on blacks.
40. 41.
I think there comes the point where obviously you have to win the frame. I mean, it's the biggest cliche ever to say, well, the frame is always priority. When you do get to the point where you've taken 7 or 8 reds and blacks, there's always the chance you can continue along those lines. We've had one this week already, as we know. Ding Junhui making his second in Masters history of the 4 that have ever been made. I always think reds to middle like this, they're the safest bet
48.
to stay on the black. So much easier if you're on a red to middle than sometimes to the corner. You have to get high on the angle to go down with the black every time if you do.
49.
Got the worst chance. But a lot of precision will have to continue in the positional side of things.
And all the time mindful that winning the frame is the first priority, given that Mark Selby's won the first 2 of this match.
56.
And that if he did make a mistake, they would all be there for Selby to punish.
Yeah, as I say, though, I think it's just easier at the
57.
moment to stay on the black than make a conscious effort to go up for something else. Reds to middle again. That's what I'm saying. That's the way to ensure that you'll always play on the black. There's a chance of that. So many of these shots he's playing. And he is one for keeping it very simple on the positional side of things, as I was saying earlier.
64. 65.
This break launched by a fantastic black under pressure. Very thin cut back to the opposite corner.
Yeah, so once again, he's okay here. And
72.
now he's going to try for the 147, isn't he, when this red's potted? Why wouldn't he? Can't think of a reason. Because the frame is secure now. There's all systems go from here.
The first mission accomplished. The crowd know what's building here. They've already been treated to the perfect break by Ding this week. His second and only the fourth in Masters history. Rarities indeed in the glorious 50-year history of this event.
80.
Well, he's gone across the table, and I don't see how he can keep this going now. It's funny because he wanted to make sure he screwed up a long way. If he'd have been a little shorter in pace, he'd have been on the red above the pink, but it would have been quite nice had he gone even further over, because the two reds on the left were going to be the problem. What does he do now? Is the question. Same referee, Desislava Boshilova, as the one earlier in the week. Oh, this is incredibly difficult. Cue ball coming around the angles for the black. That is a fantastic shot. Can't tell you how easy he made what is a difficult shot as that look. That was brilliant.
What a recovery. Mark Selby made his own maximum history, of course, at the Crucible in the final, the first ever in the title match in Sheffield.
96.
He'll be rooting for Alan right now with the frame gone, but he's going to need another good pot. Badly hampered here. But he's knocking them all in.
97.
Yeah, he took the gamble, didn't he, to get the two reds moved. They were going to be troublesome. He's just slightly off straight. He'd love to have been straighter on this. Now, it's not ideal. He would have liked to have been to the right of the pink, and then it's a simple shot. They're clapping the century. People hadn't forgotten that the century was made amongst all this.
Every shot is going to be applauded to the rafters by this capacity crowd from here on in. Can Alan hold his nerve? Yeah, the last thing we need is any wildlife intervening at this stage of proceedings.
Well, he just wants to get either straight on the red or slightly above it. That's okay. That is quite straight. The black wiggled a little bit. Glad it dropped.
It's never ideal, is it, when there's a delay? Just takes you out of rhythm, but he passed the test.
Yes, I don't think he comes straight up and down the table very easily. He might have to come off the bottom and the left cushion, swinging it round. Can he just play plain ball and miss the pink to the right? Maybe. A strange way of going, wasn't it? Thought he might come around 2 cushions.
120.
He was coming towards the yellow rather than behind it. That wasn't one of his best. But we've seen one recovery shot. This is going to be another very difficult shot to play. Can he hold for the green? It looks tough. Oh, we're in business here. Brilliant.
This is amazing stuff from Alan. The 12th red was brilliantly retrieved. He's done it again. 5 colours away from more history. He's made 2 before. UK Championship 2016, Northern Ireland Open 3 years ago.
Well, that is usually the shot, and of course the pink is not ever likely to be on its spot, but goodness, it's almost on it, it's just above it. Big bounce, big bounce, no.
134.
Almost rather had he played it into the middle than that, because that would have been a certainty to be on the black. Now he's got to go all around the angles. He underhit. Pink wasn't on its spot, that was the problem. It made the difference.
Every member of this 2,000-strong Masters audience willing him on.
Well, the shot is there around the angle. It's always on, this shot. Slow down. Slow down. It's almost like the red he took at the black he took at the beginning of the break, but it's the worst scenario to finish there. Oh, don't do a Ken Doherty on us and miss the final black in the Masters.
Kirk Stevens, 40 years ago. Ding Junhui in 07. Marco Fu, 2015. Ding again this year. And now Mark Allen, 1 black away from the maximum. He's got it. What a break. More Masters history made. The 5th 147 in this great tournament. How did he pull that out? Magnificent, Mark Allen.
Well, you've got to start somewhere, and that's a nice shot. What's Allen got here? Has he got anything to offer? Has the mid-session interval somewhat changed things? Because it's 7 in a row, we shouldn't forget, because it was 3-2 at one point.
8.
It's the first time he's really been in since then, though, at the start of a frame.
$16. $17.
Nicely done, neatly played that. A little brush against the bunch and opened up 2 or 3 reds somewhat.
24. $25.
Yes, he kind of muscled it in, and it didn't go in all that cleanly. And now, while he's on the red, he's got very awkward cueing. He's right over the top of a ball, almost entirely there. He has to play it, but it's missable. Ah, that's well done. That is well done. That was unavoidable, that cannon, and it was well worked. And I think he's okay still. You can just say that he's got a slight angle on this black to screw up for reds into the same pocket. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Well, snooker can do some strange things, but all of a sudden 5 reds and 5 blacks is what
40.
he's got, and that would tell you, if you didn't already know, that the interval can transform a match.
$41.
What's the best way to lift the gloom? How about a 147?
No, he didn't play that well, I'm afraid. The black went into the top side of the
48.
pocket. So, on that basis, well, he's not really on the red with a view to staying on the black. Not really. In fact, not at all. But he
49.
can perhaps pot it from here. What does that tell you? Because really the right shot was to play on anything else but the black. Tells you he wants to stay on blacks. But for how much longer? Can he keep the break going even?
56.
There's a £40,000 prize for a 147 at the Crucible, and of course he would also get, as it stands, a 1/3 share of the high break prize of 15,000, so it would be worth 45,000 to him, plus of course the kudos of making a max on snooker's highest profile occasion.
Well, that is a terrific recovery shot, and it was always going to be that if he did recover the situation, he was going to be around on the black. Just stayed at the top jaw and just crept in.
Could this be a triple crown 147 hat-trick?
64.
Alan made one in the UK Championship in 2016. He made one in the Masters last year.
65.
Sweetly played. He's got the pace of the shot bang on.
72.
So the frame is about to be won. I don't know if there's a plant in there. I mean, if you could find a plant, then it would open the reds up naturally by playing it rather than sort of going into them. He must keep his concentration here, though.
$73.
So he could play off the cushion into the 5 reds, more so than anything, the 3 in the directly below the pink, I would say. Well, he must think that the plant is on, or else I can't see how he would have played it.
80.
Making a 147 here is all about skill and bottle. He's got both. And he's still okay on the black.
Well, he is. I don't know if the black, when potted, if potted here, will be slightly made awkward by the red that's now to the left of the black spot. Wakelin is just enjoying himself, isn't he? Even this he's probably enjoying. Well, that's in as well, so it's a question of whether that black pot's to the left corner past the red that's going to be there. That's actually very important.
88. $89. $96.
What a chance now, goodness me, all the hard work has been done. It's been an odd break. You know, it's not been
97.
like many a 147 opportunity with complete control. There was a couple of shots where he didn't necessarily have that, but he is still going here. Doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. He's finished short. And he's going to be playing the black, it seems, from a high position. And that's not bad. I mean, it's not bad the way Alan plays. He won't mind being there. He'll certainly get back for the red. It's a terrific shot again.
$113.
The 15th red. Now the 15th black. Are we going to see the 15th 147 at the Crucible? Go on, white ball. Go on. Oh, the air has gone out of the room.
120.
Well, he might be on it. He might be on it. I think he's on it. So we can all breathe.
Thankfully, that cue ball travelled enough.
$125. $129.
3 pots away from one of the most extraordinary 147s ever witnessed.
Yes, and play hasn't resumed on the other table, so there's no disturbance there, although the whole of the Crucible is silent, when it would be anyway. It has been an extraordinary break, you're absolutely right. Just one more pot left.
140.
Raise the roof! The rest of this match has been snooker hell for Mark Allen, but now it's 147. The man from Northern Ireland is in heaven. Simply brilliant.